Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back. Brennan again. BBSM Cycle 1, Week 2, Day 5, Bench Press Day. Now for this day, starting off with competition style bench press, which means we're using a pause. Here you see my first set using 210 pounds. Those black, bigger plates on there are actually 25-pound bumper plates. They just make me feel better about myself. Now, if you remember my bench press day from last week, you'll know one of the things I struggled with was pausing long enough. So this week, I tried to really hammer in the fact that I wanted to get a longer pause here. So what I did is when I brought the bar down to my chest is I tried to count off 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. Sometimes I did this in my head, sometimes I did this out loud. And while this was definitely beneficial in making me pause longer, it was detrimental in the fact that I was like, oh crap, what the hell rep am I on? So some of these ones, after I completed my set, I would have to go back to the camera and make sure I got all 5 reps. And I did, thankfully. Now, University of Rhode Island, we might have trouble if I can't count to 5 while also having a 2-second pause, but that's probably a topic for another video. So here you see my other sets again. The way that this was set up today was that first set was at 210, and then he recommended, and he being Dan Green, 3 to 4 sets of 255 for 5 reps each. Now, I went for the 4 full sets only because this is something I've really been struggling on with this pause. I've also played a little bit around with my grip. Here you can see I'm a little bit wider than I was in the previous sets. I typically go off of the rung on the bar, and in most cases I have my pinky on it. In this case I was going with my ring finger. Now this felt alright, but I still feel more comfortable with a little bit more narrow grip going with the pinkies. So for this last set of 255, that's exactly what I did. Now, kind of addressing some of the comments I get frequently is you should arch more, you should try to plant your feet better. This is planted and arched for me. I just don't have that flexibility right now. It's something I'm trying to work on, but I am pretty tight here and I can't really move. I think I really want to try to open up my hips more because I think that's going to give me a little bit better planting with my feet, and maybe you won't have to see so much of my white thighs in place. So after we finish those, I just filmed one set of all the assistance work. The first thing you're seeing here is a set of speed rep bench. So this is with 225. So because this is for speed work, you're not seeing a pause. And I did several sets of that. We then moved on to a wide grip bench, and those black plates are back to feed my ego. And in this case, I went with my index finger on the rung, so wider than normal. And in this case, I actually paused as well. Did a couple sets of this as well. If you guys want to find out exactly what I did for what reps and what sets, of course you can follow me in Fitocracy, which should be linked below, hopefully, if I remember to include it. I'm not affiliated with the site, but it's just an easier way for me to send you there if you're interested in seeing the whole workout rather than me having to answer a bunch of individual questions. Moving on to the next exercise we did was some incline dumbbell bench press. Now what this called for was 4 sets of 12 reps. So the first set here I'm starting with 85, whereas last week I think I started with 60 pounds and worked my way up to 80s each set, so we increased 5 pounds. In this case, I wanted to get 85s for 12 for all 4 sets, so I wanted to keep the weight static. However, the third set was very tough for me, so for the 4th set, I dropped down to 80 pounds. And then, of course, everyone's favorite exercise, except if you're the bench, where I'm basically making out with this, just some chest-supported incline dumbbell rows. So it calls for a chest-supported row movement. I don't really have any access to anything like that in this gym, but this is a great exercise if you haven't done it. I really get a good solid pull in my back. Kept the weight static here, 55 for 4 sets of 12. And then there you go, stretch it out. I didn't give it a love tap because you guys got on my case last time, but as always, thanks for watching, and in the meantime, stay big.